Good day, spiritually gifted, chosen ones. I want to speak about encounters. Those of us that are in tune with the spiritual realm, a lot of us sometimes experience things that aren't necessarily within the norm. And by that I mean like extraterrestrial visitations from spirit guides, various things. So I want to speak on something I heard on another content creator's platform. A lady called in and she gave her story. Now I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember word for word what she said. But she spoke about how one night she was out driving on a country road, and for whatever reason she had to get out of her car, probably car trouble. And she was set upon by some guy out of nowhere, and he had bad intentions for her. And during the struggle, something grabbed this man and pulled it, not something that she could see, but there was a force there. And it allowed her to be able to get away. When she got far enough away and she looked back, she said, this man was bent in half backwards, whereas his body was like facing up and his legs was down and he was like twisting. He was being held. And she said she could see like a form of light. And all she can attribute this to was that this was her guardian angel. And this lady had told several different stories about different situations in her life where she believed she had divine intervention. So I want to touch on a story, well, a couple of stories, where I believe I had visitation. The first was when I was about 13, 12. I remember coming into the living room. I had a bowl of strawberry ice cream. I will never forget. And as I came into the living room, the TV was on the right side of the wall. And when I sat down, out of my peripheral, I could see a small ball of light started to grow and spread. And as it got bigger, I jumped because it frightened me. And then the minute I jumped up, it disappeared. And someone told me, you know what? That was probably an angel because sometimes they appear as light, you know. But I know it scared me. Later on in life, I think I had another visitation. Me and my son was sitting on the bed, and my son was having problems breathing. So I had called the ambulance. He was so little. He was about 3 or 4. And at the top of my ceiling in the corner, I saw little sprinkles of lights. I didn't know that he could see it as well. And he looked up in the exact same spot where I was looking. And I said, do you see that? And he said, yes. I said, don't be afraid. I said, it's your angels watching over you. You're going to be okay. And then soon the ambulance showed up. Then the next one wasn't so nice. I was in my bed one night, and I had this old TV that was sitting on a stand, the old TVs, not the new flat ones. And you know those screens, like if you look into the screen, you can see the reflection of everything that's in the room or the door and everything. You see everything. So when I open my eyes, I'm facing the TV screen, I can see an image come through my bedroom door. And it looked like a guy, a form of a guy in a white hoodie, but his eyes, the scariest thing I've ever seen. And it looked like he had an afro. Like you can clearly see this wasn't a live person. This was a spirit. Soon after he came through the door, it was a much bigger form of light, like big, bright light that showed up right behind him. And it was as if he was shoved sideways through my side wall. That's how fast he moved. It was like the light pushed him through the wall, and it went away. But that was some scary stuff. You hear me? That was scary. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. But then when I woke up, and in hindsight, I said, whatever that light was, it was there to protect me. I never told anybody about that one. I did tell somebody about the most recent one, however. In my bed, laying on my back, looking at my cell phone, as I usually do in bed at night. and I had my phone up, and then out of my peripheral on my right side, I could see the form, like it was like a clear, I don't want to say like a bubble form, but clear form image of a man come through my door in the bedroom. It was very tall, and it walked, because you could see the silhouette, the profile. It walked straight through the room and through where my dresser was, straight on through the wall. It didn't look, it didn't turn, it just kept going. And although it scared me, I didn't feel threatened. So something in me said that that was not a bad spirit. It was a little unsettling, but it wasn't bad. Now, up to this point in my life, you couldn't tell me there was a such thing as ghosts. I had never seen one, didn't want to see one. I did live in a house in the Bronx, though, where my toilet used to flush at night, and out of nowhere, and then the channel on my television changed all by itself. But I just chalked that up, I just like, what was the word? I can't think of the word right now, but I just cast it off as being something else. I had never seen anything, though, until these last few years here. So now I'm a believer. In terms of extraterrestrials, I haven't had that experience yet. I had a girlfriend who lived in Jersey. She told me many years ago that she saw something in the sky that looked sort of, like it could have been a extraterrestrial with the lights and everything. I haven't seen that. But I do believe that I've had several visitations by my spirit guide angels. And my mom, God rest her soul, she passed away in August of 2022. My mom told me a few months before she passed, she said, I had a vision about a man all in white at the foot of the bed. So I'm like, oh my God, Ma, you saw an angel at the foot of your bed? She said, no, he wasn't at the foot of my bed. He was below you. And immediately I'm thinking, oh my God, what does this mean? Am I going to die? So I don't know if that was intended to let me know, because my mom was, nearing death and probably was more in tune to the spirit world, even more so then at that point. And maybe she just was concerned about me, you know, being in my fragile mental condition sometimes because of the ill treatment I've gotten my whole life. She was concerned for me. And I think she wanted to tell me that I wasn't alone and that I had protection. I'm going to think of it as that way. But I do believe that spiritually